So far, I've captured over 111,000 milestone dings. We've got 9,500 players at level 65. And in this video, we're going to break it all down. But first, this is actually a video of me fighting Talon Zach on the wrong floor. I'm actually a floor above. This is the second time it's happened to me, and I'm not sure why. It's almost like the mobs are chasing the bunnies. But what happened here is he went through a wall, apparently upstairs, and summoned me up. So then after I kill him, I can't get back down without exiting the zone and coming back into it. Just one of the bugs I found, and I'm not really sure what's causing it. So starting off, all-time top 15 level 65 combos. This is all the data I've collected. So the whole time that Planes of Power has been out, we are looking at Beast Lord, Magician, Necromancer, holding the #1 spot at 10.87%. Bard, Beast Lord, Magician at 7.54%. And those are the two main pet classes. Berserker, Monk, Paladin, Bard, Shadow Knight, Wizard, Rogue, Shadow Knight, Shaman. And then stuff starts to fall off, but there is the top 15 of all time since Planes of Power was released. Let's go over some of the things that I think we can do better at, some of the things that may need to change. Starting off with gear bottlenecks, and think of Earth Embracers of Fortitude drop the Plane of Time off of Quorum. It is time for THJ to bring Mischief's random and bonus loot tables into the game. With everything else being easy to obtain, and the Earth Embracers being the best in slot and needing 2 of them for many classes, it doesn't make sense for them to only drop off Quorum at the rate they're dropping. I think that a couple things could be done. They could increase the amount of loot that Quorum drops, or just make all of Phase 4 have access to the Quorum loot table and drop it at a lower percentage. But at this point, something should be done to remove gear bottlenecks from the game. And next up, over the last 2 weeks only, here are the top 5 gainers, starting with Ranger, Rogue, Shadow Knight, which I actually have one of those. Druid, Enchanter, Magician, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, I have one of those. Beast Lord, Monk, Warrior, Beast Lord, Enchanter, Magician. And over the last 2 weeks, the top 5 losers. Rogue, Shadow Knight, Wizard, down 1.3%. Berserker, Cleric, Monk. Berserker, Monk, Paladin. Beast Lord, Magician, Necromancer, and Monk, Rogue, Shadow Knight. All losers. And since launch, the top 5 net gainers: Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Beast Lord, Monk, Warrior, Druid, Enchanter, Magician, Bard, Cleric, Enchanter, and Ranger, Rogue, Shadow Knight. And since launch, the top 5 fallers: Bard, Beast Lord, Magician. That's a lot of people trying to get away from these pet classes, or they got their pet classes maxed out and now they're trying to make something else. Followed by Beast Lord, Magician, Necromancer, Berserker, Cleric, Monk, Rogue, Shadow Knight, Shaman, and Rogue, Shadow Knight, Wizard. The other thing I'm finding kind of weird, and I've been, I guess, abusing this too, is that you can level Plane of Time gear, which was designed for level 65s, and gear from the Planes of Power expansion by de-leveling yourself and killing lower level mobs. So you can get like the best in slot green item, de-level to 45, 50 or whatever, and go lay waste to a zone like Dragon's Necropolis and just have like the legendary best in slot, within the hour. Well, that's cool, and I use it. I think that gear experience should be based off the expansion that they're dropped in. So things that drop in Planes of Power should have like a level 65 attribute stuck to it so that it has to be leveled in Planes of Power, or it would be the equivalent of being level 65 and killing in Dragon's Necropolis. The gear leveling should not scale to the mob con that you're fighting. It should have its own level based on where it drops from. That way we don't have items from the Planes of Power expansion being leveled back in Vilius. And it would also cause more people to play in the most current expansion. And in this chart, we have the fall of the Meta Kings. So these were the most popular classes at launch and where they stand now. Bard, Beast Lord, Magician taking the biggest loss. Again, you've already seen the overall makeup of people dinging, but this is the loss percentage in between. Bard, Beast Lord, Magician leading the fall. Beast Lord, Magician, Necromancer, Berserker, Cleric, Monk, Rogue, Shadow Knight, Shaman, Rogue, Shadow Knight, Wizard, and Beast Lord, Monk, Wizard. From launch, you can see how they charted out. Some had some weeks of gains, but overall they are down as of this last week. The other thing I would like to see added is, well, they have waypoints in the game that you discover. I think they need waypoints that are achievement based. For example, say you kill Kara 10 times. That may unlock an achievement, which should unlock, say, a waypoint in the room. So the next time you want to do Kara, you can port like right to the room. I think even when we get the Plane of Time, if you have cleared phase 1 and 2 so many times, like you should earn access or an achievement that lets you port right directly to a spawned phase 3, phase 4. What I would like to see is after you've beaten a boss so many times, you can literally just go directly to that boss and have just that encounter. And that includes things like Quorum. you know, if you beat Quorum 30 times, with this server being about, you know, trying out new builds and fast play, we shouldn't be requiring someone to re-clear plane of time, you know, when they only need the Earth Embraces of Fortitude off Quorum. They should be able to port right to that encounter. I wouldn't even be against people being able to log in on that specific character and just rolling for the loot without having to actually fight. I mean, it's so trivial that you're literally just time syncing someone to like feign death run down to the boss and kill them. At least give them a waypoint right into the room for things like that. The other thing that I noticed is Quorum, and we had this problem with Emp, but Quorum recast his reslow like spam mode. And the problem I have with this is like, well, that's a mechanic that like some classes or class combos suffer from. The pet classes don't suffer from it. I have 6 level 65 combos. I have a Beast Lord Mage Bard, and I have a Necro Mage Beast Lord. So 2 of the main pet combos, and they steamrolled Quorum solo, still in Vex style gear at level 65. I mean, I had to spam heal a lot of the fight, but now that my pet tanks have like pretty much best in slot or near best in slot minus some Augs, like it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge at all to go and beat Quorum, especially with the heal, curing diseases and removing curses. You can just spam that and no big deal. But now I take my SK Rogue Ranger or any of the other melee combos that don't have pets into fight Quorum, and these guys are fucking, they're not best in slot, but they're stacked. You know, we're rolling in there with 4,300 AC, just things that are completely unnecessary that you should have. You know, I got Shield of Immaculate, I got all the clickies, like things that you shouldn't have to beat Quorum when you have that type of gear, things that weren't needed by the pet classes at all to beat Quorum. So the boss is soloable. The pets have a huge advantage, and you can watch, like, see, I'm literally clicking, spam clicking Shield of Immaculate, and this thing is stacking up while I'm spam clicking. And I don't know what the instant cast effect has to do with auto attacks and taps, but this kind of decked out, you know, not going to go solo Zeb decked out, but decked out enough where you should be easily able to walk over Quorum. It has difficulties. Like I lose 50% of the fights just by taking a bad round or not being able to get this slow off. There needs to be something added to the game where if you cure a specific ailment, whether it's the disease or a slow or effect, you become immune to it for like a period of at least 10 seconds, almost like how you become immune to summons. They should not be able to just reapply that after you cure that quickly. And I think for Emp, they changed the timer for recast, but to solve that problem going forward, there maybe should be an effect added to the game called immunity, where it cannot be reapplied. Because I honestly, the pet classes, and this is how I farm Quorum mainly, I have them. And I'm not the type of person to say nerf that, but the melee needs to be given some type of advantage for these type of fights. You got the pet classes with shitty ass gear, soloing Quorum, and then you got a semi-decked out melee type combo, unable to do it because of the chain slow recasting. And that's completely imbalanced, and they really need to work on not forcing people to play the pet classes, because I don't want to have to play the pet classes to do this content. I don't want to have to play the pet classes to solo time. I end up having to do my pet classes for easy clears. Something has to be done to not force me to have to play my pet classes to do Quorum easily. And I'm just tired of hearing how stuff is not meant to be soloable. It's soloable. It's very soloable by pet classes. Almost nothing in the game wasn't soloable, and that's fine. But let's buff everybody else up to get to the level of pet classes. And we can do that by getting rid of some of these unwanted mechanics. Something's gotta give. It's not like the pet classes get stuck somewhere in plane of time. So you just can't have this one-off fight in plane of time where, you know, other combos can't get through it. If one combo can get through solo with decent gear, or even just semi-best in slots, say 95% best in gear, then all the top 20 combos should be able to get through. It's not about nerfing pet classes. It's about we have to enhance the play of these other classes pertaining to boss fights. And then for shits and giggles, if you are wondering which classes make up the most combos at level 65, Beast Lord having 3,228 appearances, making up 11.32% of all combos, followed by Bard, Magician, Shadow Knight, Monk, Cleric, Rogue, Paladin, Necromancer, and Wizard, leaving 6 classes in an unspecified order. That does not mean the classes that aren't listed in here or at the bottom aren't part of a working, functional, or overpowered combo. It means that they are rarely chosen. And as a user commented, some of the most powerful combinations aren't part of the meta. Good or bad, these are just the ones that are picked the most. If you're interested in watching more of my content, check out this video.